Hey, Happy New Year, everybody. Just want to give a brief overview of the year in review in the stock market for 2021. It was a great year, and it was a great year for the channel, and I just wanted to give some of the highlights right now. First of all the markets did fantastically, but just going through the highlights, the NASDAQ, of course, was up 21.39%. Year to date, or year to year end. The S&P was up 26.89%. The Dow, which was the big laggard, and that's funny to say because it was up almost 20%, up 18.73%. And the Russell 2000 was the real laggard at 13.52%. Now, what's really interesting is here I want to pull up the sector chart. Take a look at the sector chart, which is basically the spiders. If you look at the sector chart, you can see, and this is very significant to the channel, that the energy sector, as reflected in the XLE spider, was the highest performing sector in the market this year. Very significant to the channel because we've been very bullish on the energy sector the entire year. Also take a look at this chart, the entire NASDAQ 100, and you can see that Moderna, another major recommendation on this channel, was the second highest performing stock in the entire NASDAQ with an increase of 143%. Absolutely outstanding, okay? Now let me just reiterate that the two biggest picks, there are a number of picks on this channel, but the biggest picks, and certainly my two biggest positions of the year, was Moderna, okay, the second highest performing in all of the NASDAQ, and Exxon, which went up almost 50% this year. Okay, when you include dividends, the return was well in excess of 50%. Not bad for a stodgy old oil and gas company, okay? But we've been talking about the oil and gas industry, how it's hated, how the fact that because everyone hates it, the valuation on these stocks are just rock bottom. And of course, the negative sentiment helped for them to outperform the market and outperform the market very significantly. Okay, so that was great for the channel, and we hope that you like and continue watching the channel throughout the coming year. Let's take a look briefly at what we see in the coming year. I see inflation is going to continue to dominate the capital markets, both the bond and the stock markets. The Fed policy continues to be significantly behind the curve, as it has been for almost a year and a half now. It'll be interesting to see if Jay Powell actually follows through with his tapering and raising interest rates to the level that they should be to combat inflation. I still have my doubts, since he's been the most political Fed chairman in the history of the world. Because the combination of inflation and potentially the Fed chairman and the Fed not doing what they're supposed to be doing and remaining political, this could affect the economy ultimately as inflation continues to eat into economic activity, eventually retail sales slowing down. And this could cause significant slowing down of the economy in the second half of the year. This is something to look for, possibly a recession. We'll have to wait and see. But another thing I'm looking at is if the Fed does follow through and starts to taper significantly, which it's doing now, and eventually starts raising interest rates, this is going to continue to be very bad for what I call the bubble stocks, which are the stocks mostly in the high-tech sector, which have no earnings and have massive and ridiculous valuations that are completely unsustainable. They will get crushed. And in addition to that, I think an ancillary issue related to that is, again, if the Fed tightens monetary policy significantly, I think this is really bad for crypto, because all these crypto stocks and the whole crypto craze was born out of ridiculously loose monetary policy, which, if that does not continue, that will knock out a major underpinning in that market. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this quick update. Look, the markets are going to do what the markets do. I'm not recommending getting out of the market. I think that the market could go either way. Stay invested in stocks that make money and have a moat around their business, so to speak, so that regardless of what happens, they're still profitable. And continue to watch this channel as we go into 2022. We're going to be expanding the channel, having some very interesting additional content coming out. We're going to start doing live streaming, all this great stuff. So please subscribe and like and hit the bell so that you can be sure to be noticed when I come out with more content. All right? So with all that, it's 𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐞.